Hey survivors, and welcome to Devlog number 4. My name is Justin Miersch and I'm the game and level designer of Projekt, and in the last few months we've worked on some awesome stuff that we now want to share. But without any further ado, let's get right into it. In this Devlog video we will talk about the future of the entire project, so we will talk about the intro missions, the hub, our new damage system, our inventory system, the monetization system and much more. But we also have some surprises and announcements for you. And the first announcement is right now. I'm so happy to announce that we've released our pre-save Kickstarter page for you so that you can save the campaign and get notified as soon as our Kickstarter starts. We will also drop some new and interesting videos about the game as soon as we get closer to the Kickstarter campaign. And let's go to the next surprise. We also released our Steam store page right at this moment so that you can wishlist Poxset on Steam, and because it's free to play, you will get notified as soon as you can start playing. For the Germans out there, you have to wait a bit longer, but we will guarantee you that the game will be available at the same time as for anybody else. These are not the only surprises for this evening. For those watching the premiere, you have to wait a bit longer. For those watching it afterwards, don't skip. But for the new people here watching, what is Poxset? Poxset is a free-to-play first-person zombie co-op shooter set in World War II. And the goal of Poxset is to combine hardcore games like Escape from Tarkov with games like Left 4 Dead and Fallout Shelter. Why Fallout Shelter, you might ask? Poxset is very different from other co-op shooters. Instead of just running through missions, doing objectives and killing zombies, you also have to manage your own hub. But I will come back to the hub in a little bit, because before all that you have to choose a character. A character has a passive and an active ability. After choosing a character, you have to play the intro mission of the character you've chosen. An intro mission is a single player mission where we explain the background story of the character and how he got to the island. Next up, we have the hub. The hub is a core element in the game's main mode. Currently, we don't have any hub gameplay to show, but I think it's very important to explain what the hub is. From the hub you can start your missions, but you also can upgrade and equip your own characters. The management is similar to Fallout Shelter and the Fallout 4 mod sim settlements. That means you do not have to babysit your survivors, you just need to give them a place where they can sleep and set up their shops. Survivors can be found and recruited during story missions, and each survivor has certain skills that will influence what he can offer in the hub. For example, unique weapon attachments, but you also can expand this knowledge by finding blueprints during the story missions, so that you can build more and better attachments. Of course, like in real life, conflicts will occur between survivors in your hub, and you will need to find a way to solve them. So the game loop is: go on missions with your friends, find building materials, food, water, benzene for electricity and more. After this you go back to the missions and try to find AI survivors to extend your hub. But now, because you have more AI survivors inside of your hub, you need to have more food and water. So you have to manage carefully, and maybe you want to extend one of your shops as well. For that you need more electricity, so it's getting harder and harder over time. There's so much more to the game, but we want to show you that with real in-game footage later this year. I hope you understand that. We also think it's time for the next big announcement. We're so proud to announce that we now have Nitrado as one of our partners. Nitrado is our official server host for Projekt's Wave mode and will help us with their infrastructure to give you the best experience possible. And now to something other. The story of the game, the actual devlog, but I will give these topics to Max. So Max, it's your turn.
Thanks Justin, and let's get to it. Well, you've probably all been wondering what's up with the name of the game, and well, it's actually part of the story. The Projekt was one of the efforts of the Nazis to develop a weapon that would turn the war around in their favor. It originated from the island the game takes place on. When it was first discovered, one of the Discovery crew members was killed in an accident. Or so they thought. After a while he got back up and started attacking his former crewmates. Body shots didn't really impress him, he could only be stopped with damage to the brain. This immediately caught the attention of the Oberkommando der Wehrmacht. Infrastructure on the island was set up and research began on how this phenomenon could be utilized for the purpose of eradicating entire armies. That is not the only research that was going on the island though. Several new Vergeltungswaffen were being developed on different parts of the island, as well as new vehicles, drugs and equipment. The game itself takes place directly after the end of World War II in Germany. Documents about the island had been discovered after das Dritte Reich fell. The Allied forces used several captured German planes to recon the island. Due to an incident in the actual Projekt, communications and several other parts of the infrastructure on the island were damaged. Only a small part of the German forces stationed on the island actually knew that the war was over. The other part of the forces still believed they are at war and consider the others as traitors for working together with crashed Allied forces. The old inventory was completely scrapped and replaced with a new grid-based inventory. The old one was simply too limited for what we wanted to do with the game. Every item from weapons, magazines to medicine and quest items will go here. You can equip other weapons by dragging them onto the corresponding slot. Together with the inventory, our player damage system was also vastly extended. Instead of just simply taking damage to your health, we chose to split it up into different body parts, 15 currently. When the zombie attacks you, the body part that he hit will take damage, and depending on how you were hit and some RNG, will be scratched, bitten or bleed. You can heal yourself by either using it with the use button or dragging it onto a specific body part. Currently this is not animated because the animations aren't done yet, but of course in the final game every heal action will be animated. During a fight this way would be very slow and cumbersome. For that a quick heal button will be implemented which will heal the biggest rounds with the supplies that you have. Of course with other attacks such as ranged attacks from NPCs or environmental hazards you can also have shot wounds, burns, breaks and more. The damage that you have taken also affects you visibly. You will walk slower and with different animations. Some new weapons were also added. The German Sturmgewehr 44 with animations from Adin. And the American Colt M1911 with animations from Lynx. And now we'll get to the bit that had all of you wondering ever since we announced that Projekt would be free to play. Justin, it's your turn.
Thank you, Max. Obviously, we have to make some money to keep the development going after the release. And a lot of people are still concerned about our monetization model because you all know Projekt is free to play. We're still very early in development, but we want to hear feedback on our first iteration of it. Because as we mentioned in the second devlog, we want to create one of the fairest systems we can possibly think of. And this is only possible with you, the community. Before we start, I have to make one thing clear. The plan we're talking about has nothing to do with the base content of the game. Everything we're talking about is post-launch content. So let's start with the Wehrmachtspass. The Wehrmachtspass is a normal battle pass, but with a few tweaks. First off, the pass will have 30 levels with new skins, hub decorations, player customizations, side missions, a new character with a new intro single player mission, and a new character related weapon variant. What is a weapon variant, you might ask? Instead of selling new weapons, we think we can achieve the same feeling of having a new weapon in a more consumer-friendly way. In general, a weapon variant is just a skin with a slightly changed 3D model and new animations. So all of the stats like damage, fire rate, etc. stays the same. Feel free to tell us your opinion on that kind of system. Next up, we have our co-op mission packs, character skins and hub decorations, but I think the names are self-explanatory. But now to the best part, the free content. The idea is to release free content such as new side missions, hub expansions and weapons later. And yeah, you heard me right. The plan is to make all new weapons free. Because as we mentioned earlier, we think we can achieve the same feeling of having a new weapon with the weapon variants. But yeah, we know it's very early, but we think sharing our ideas of our monetization system is important. So that you can see that we want to create a good and fair system. So please help us and give us your opinion on our current monetization plan. And please keep in mind that this can change later in development. Okay, that was hard. It's never easy for a game developer to talk about monetization, but we have talked about a lot of cool stuff today, like new features such as the damage system, our inventory system, new weapons and the intro missions. But also the Kickstarter and our Steam page. And we cannot wait to show you the stuff we have planned for the future, like finally co-op gameplay and the hub. But for that we need a bit more time and your support. Feel free to save our Kickstarter page for the day it launches, and also don't forget to wishlist Poxset on Steam. I hope I can see you in the next devlog, and until there, have a great one.